The backstory of this essay deals with Gilgamesh, who was a Mesopotamian king 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. And after he died, his reputation was recorded, and people started to create a mythology about him, which made him kind of half god and half man. And the Epic of Gilgamesh is a composite of all these various stories about this miraculous human being who was kind of deified. Gilgamesh understood. He started his quest to find immortality, and toward the end of his life he realized that it was a fool's errand and that human beings will never find immortality, but if you want immortality at one level, do good in the world, help other people, be a good person, and generations after you've gone, people remember you. And Gilgamesh is a good example of it. 5,000 years ago, for the last 5,000 years, a huge chunk of the world is very familiar with Gilgamesh. But he also said, this is kind of a paraphrase what he said, is kind of forget dying. That's a done deal. You're going to die sometime, so forget it. And what he wants you to do is to live life. You can't control your mortality. What you can control is the way you live your life. And so live it. And this essay is really about other people that have followed in the Gilgamesh mindset. Randy Pausch, who was a college professor at Carnegie Mellon, was dying of pancreatic cancer and gave his last lecture to his friends and colleagues at Carnegie Mellon. And 9 months later, he was dead from his pancreatic cancer. And he was more alive in that last lecture than anybody in the audience. Steve Jobs also had pancreatic cancer, but he had a special strain of pancreatic cancer, and he had a little longer life once it was diagnosed. And essentially he said that death is a game changer. Dance with death, and it'll change your Weltanschauung, it will change your worldview. The other person that I discussed was a literary American writer and poet, but I really like him. His name is Edgar Allan Poe, and he wrote a poem, one of his poems, called El Dorado, and essentially it was the Epic of Gilgamesh in American vernacular. And all those people, from Gilgamesh all the way down to Randy Pausch, Steve Jobs, Edgar Allan Poe, all of them pushed for the notion of you ain't going to live forever, so the time you do have here in this world, you better spend it well and enjoy life as you have it. And the two illustrations of that have to do with two pandas and ginger. So I appreciate your time listening to and watching this video and reading this essay. You take care, and ciao.